OKFM 101.7.
Yankwa ina fe yene mbrase bedwani a ogina ho man of ton former deputy minister for education Yewra Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa entwetwe enkomo Honorable Memo Akwaba
Yo menia medase baby aboko
boko na so
nyame adom
na se na no na president tu kwa me sa te se wasa raise concern bi se ya sign high private jets Emma yen president and what they call ye na just for the third time no enti na ya koye se o ene am sa ade enyo ana eye kura no from here to US no be 11 hours no nya de a ebetumi akọ ana yentimi nkase ye ba kodu ba bia ye refuel ni asade akonom ni ade ana now ebi kura na seating arrangement no kura no emwa for comfortability and the likes for our president. And Komoi at say
yo medase edikain mamenchia chief nyana metume a confirm say your mamping president Anado Danko Akufo-Addo akwantu we are why ako the United States of America was signed ako charter an ultra luxury aircraft the Boeing 737 BBJ3 registered LXDIO or more a charter a free global jet of Luxembourg na ASR luxury aircraft we are na or they call Germany and UK T4 Bekaya on the 7th of September presidential spokesperson Mr. Eugene Ahin or they were told just aircraft we are may reveal as president I use it to know the UK and Germany. No, I didn't get my facts right at the time. No, one country which aircraft the president used. And a very shocking aircraft now or more deny or more use it to the UK and to Germany. No, so aircraft na and noa and of your mapping or there to coin call the United States of America. Now, as I said, maybe to just about aviation industry, about tracking of aircraft, there were very accurate systems of monitoring. So, over the right tools, you can't go wrong. I mean, it's such a transparent industry. So, over the right systems, you can always track. Indiana, because of the initial attempt to deny the earlier one, that is, Kaiser, first one that we did told you in May, the rental of the world's most expensive luxury jet, the ACJ 320 Neo, operated by Aviation Acropolis. No, I know. Abang and deny Defense Minister by Parliament, or by confirm that I indeed got my facts right, except he tried to justify why the president did not use the presidential jet because at the time, no, 90% the state of the presidential jet. That was really my question to him. Until by Parliament on the 15th of June, he clearly came to confirm, sir, I got my facts right. He did not contest the facts I put out. Now, the second defiance by the president, and known Mr. Eugene Ahin, attempted to, as it were, poo-poo the claims I put out. But as it has turned out now, Mr. Eugene Ahin one can credit.
Me bow. When onim say the work is in the public domain, say that we can say be transparent. Enti no official position of government no dey betudwa. He ena no kure enim.
No credit anymore because subject now make us say use it to the UK and to Germany, no. And one president I use it across United States of America. And the blue and white Boeing 737-900ER BBJ3, manufacturer serial number 62515 with line number 5659, registered LXDIO, and the award hex code 4D0213, configured VIP with 2 CFMI engines. And Indiana say no when say omontome encounter biom Mr. Eugene Ahin has been exposed and the facts are stated clearly. Na minia
ono buy no say nya no ye de koye anaden.
Yes, son of Kai of friends and for our Jubilee House and all the two just and yet aircraft way and a president easy. But to my surprise, no, minia our colleagues at course our press conference no. Omo Bisano say and yet way in a president easy aircraft bang na or the koye. Omo Bisano. And on also no one fund to the alternative facts. We say president and use the LXDIO to Germany and UK. What you do for us to believe you that you are not taking us for granted, you are not throwing dust in our eyes. You present the alternative facts. Because Yenin said President Utu there's no doubt. And Yenin said President one Falcon no anchor. Because at the time I put out records as to where the Falcon was and other trips the presidential jet made when the president was not in town, including the presidential jet going to being used to Kumasi, being used to Zambia. I put out all these records. At the time, I'm not president only Ghana. And up to now, Mr. Eugene Ayin has not told us how the president got to Germany. But you see, they say the truth always stands. No Grenadier, no matter what you do, no.
He must. He should have been forthright with the facts. Say, okay, I deal with no. Nye we ni yedi koye. Nemo yedi we ne koye.
Exactly. One can up to now on country.
Wouldn't say any maybe so what? Moi, yes, Musaya oath of secrecy. And there be also a Nisa president no or call me be a dabon things. Say yefe. Because Americans will not do that.
And you know, correct. Matters to do with presidential travels. It's one of the most transparent things. Obia in say, even non-Americans cry in say, the president of the United States of America or use the Air Force One, their presidential jet, and they put out the details, full details. For example, earlier this week, Oko addressed the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday. Over the weekend, they put out his itinerary. Osha CNN, Osha BBC, it was all there. Omuka time Obekwa could drew her, and Omuka said on that New York because our meetings later that day. He wants to meet with the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson at the White House. Enumerate or address the United Nations General Assembly where Obeteke of a movie from New York to Washington. All of these details were provided. Now about America, they are even so transparent. Say, who use the presidential jet? Now say, we are detour. Engage in any private activity. And private activity, they defined it to include what will party event and wako fundraising. Anything not related to an official event of state, say a partisan, and I say a private matter, ebia wako sra you reimburse the state because obi American, all Americans know how much it costs to operate the Air Force One for an hour. They know. And if you use 5 hours and 10 hours on a private business, you have multiply by the rate per hour. Now, what reimburse it? You reimburse the American Treasury. President Obama reimbursed millions of dollars. President Bush reimbursed. President Trump reimbursed a few days ago. President Biden is reimbursing. Indiana Yamubi Akase, we need a national presidential travel policy. No, there was strict guidelines. President cannot decide, say, though we have a presidential jet, or no, their own use it, and he will go and charter ultra luxury aircraft. Oko charter krano, your range. Anytime he contacts the companies he wants to charter from, he goes for their top of the range, the most expensive.
Now, honorable, jet in a way.
Met to me, I confirm it to you, sir. At the same time, President Akufo-Addo or charter LXDI way, they call the United States of America. No. Now your presidential jet, Liberian President, His Excellency George Weah, Onona OUZ. Indeed, 18 September, Orlando at the Roberts Field Airport, which is also known as the Roberts International Airport in Liberia, Orlando at 10 a.m. Your President Orlando or Houston, that's the local time in Houston, United States of America, at 7 a.m. And around the same time, Mayor Metraki, said, around the same time, President, the chartered aircraft, Falcon, the Dassault Falcon 900 EXE, registered 9G-EX, the Ghana's presidential jet. Now, President Weah.
Mebo. Yeah, jet, no. Yeah, calling because you know. President upon Weah. You should say jet, no.
President upon Weah, you see, Ghana's presidential jet.
Oh, and yes, be out in Nanam. It's a be a 2 free no cost to whom now were banning the day.
Or you see, presidential jet, no, from Liberia to Ghana, and then from Ghana to Liberia. He used it twice in a week last week.
Namibo, and only a Guinness can answer, or we are not fire gun and into Bra Philibia.
Brilliant question. We are very, very good. And Nona, as I say, Yashishimu, we must probe further because, I mean, Minhu or Mindia, they allow their presidential jet for other because we share your presidential jet. Ghana flag was coat of arms also. It's exclusive for Ghana. We share the Hansard of 18th December 2008 now. 18th March 2008. It's clear, sir. The presidential jet agreement on the bar parliament is for the exclusive use of the Ghanaian president. It's Ghana's presidential jet. Now, presidential jet, we show your history.
As captured in the parliamentary Hansard, no, it means abeye bibia parliament yajatum say obi antimi use apart from the president of the land.
Exactly. And now say unless a president Quine say maybe a vice president and some minister of state. But say the presidential jet would now be operated as if it's a chartered aircraft and as a commercial aircraft no a coin any hosa. That is not what Parliament approved. And we need to know the terms of engagement. Fortunately, me put it out these facts. No, Joy FM for report is from sources at the presidency are confirming. Now, or more say president the Marquine say the Liberian president should use that. But we need to know the terms, and it's one of the matters when Parliament returns from recess. No, you better pursue because it's quite unusual and it's quite strange because Sana Ubisa very brilliantly no yena ye footy bills nana and now say the Liberian president paid for it. At least so far checks are my they didn't pay anything because I mean even the rate is not known, who the money was paid to is not known. At least the checks so far indicates he had the jet for free. Now, what this means, and it says the Ghanaian taxpayer is being burdened twice. Yeah, Tiaka for president, they chartered luxury aircraft. No? Now, at the same time, the same Ghanaian taxpayer, so Air Tiaka for a Kana President George Weah or accumulating using our presidential jet. No? And one wonders.
Now, maybe when you're privy to the arrangement, maybe fasten and landing rights, aviation costs will be borne by the Liberian government. Yeah, what you also?
Indian America said so far there's been no payment. However, these matters, as I say, you're probably further. Parliament resume the NDC caucus in Parliament, we will be asking the right questions because in the spirit of financial accountability, as I say, and that is our job. That's our mandate, our constitutional mandate as members of Parliament, carrying out financial oversight. As I say, because this situation, the Ghanaian taxpayer is called upon to foot the bills of the president's new insatiable appetite for chartered luxury aircraft, and at the same time, another president is using the presidential jet into a double burden. You impose double burden on the Ghanaian taxpayer. In these harsh economic times, our president Akasa Nemamu Ayedin into Onokrane pay increase on fat. Nemamu Ayedin into Ghanaian workers should bear with him. Now, among 4%, poultry 4% wage increase no more and even that no cry on to mean tia at a goal or bet tia in installment, 3 installments, and yet the president is able to impose this double taxation on Ghanaians, this double burden on the Ghanaian taxpayer. It is totally unacceptable. Now, Minia, OSHA very conservative estimates now. Offer president made 3 recent trips away. May occur France, Belgium, and South Africa. June, July occur UK and Germany, and the current trip to the US. Minia, conservative estimate, just aircraft charter and direct payment to the operators of these airlines. Ghana Sika 10.1 million Ghana cedis, over 10 million Ghana cedis, and squander on this. Now, if the presidential jet was being used, and Kaminia, aviation fuel and your landing rights and all of that will be nowhere near Andrew 1 million Ghana cedis. And you need to ask yourself, 10 million Ghana cedis now. Can't it help congestion air coastal, double track congestion in our secondary schools? Some of these abandoned hospitals are and they are rotting away in the bush. The last time you say, na abetifi demonstrated, say they want their hospital abandoned in the bush. completed. You're seeing similar demonstrations in the Ashanti region, the military hospital. You've seen what's going on in Bekwai. All these abandoned hospitals all over the place. That's 10 million Ghana cedis. Even some of the functioning hospitals, now incubators, anyhow. Recently, Mina donated an incubator to the Akuse Government Hospital. Now, only incubator Bakukra, you know. And you ask yourself, that 10 million Ghana cedis, no, what could it have done? Now, the interesting thing, and it's Minia.
But we can shortchange it.
If you give me 1 minute.
Okay, but you.
Since Mr. T raised this pension for chartered luxury aircraft, no, argument or the other side, I raise it to kind of justify this, no, has all fallen flat. Eddie Kain, or Muka say, oh, COVID and all of that, they say, health, in terms of public health, into president per direct flighter, and then over the destinations. Meaning, that collapses because all the chartered aircraft president Wakwako High, all these lazy aircraft, and here refueling. And for president Anchor Direct. OSHA ACJ 320 Neo now. President Obe Free Belgium across South Africa. He did a stopover because it wasn't possible for the aircraft to fly 11 hours direct non-stop because it's all within the
Minim said yeah, 1 year sa jet no. Other ones no say me be severally me be free JFK. Ba kokora de me free Bradley, which is part of Connecticut, Bradley Airport, straight to Ghana. 11 hours no me ade. We no other name take is
because of the size.
Okay.
Of the once those large commercial aircraft, no, super into the fuel capacity, and the engine capacity, so much bigger. Into to me fly directly, but this business jet, the business jet category is just the same category as the Falcon, your presidential jet now your work. Until after 7-8 hours, as I said, we refuel it. Until President refuel here, the first one. We so work the United States of America, and also or a stopover at the Azores, the Leisure International Airport, North Atlantic, for refueling. Almost spend 1 hour between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. of 18th September to refuel. And then they took off from there, from the Azores to Houston. Landed or Houston at 7 a.m. local time. And that argument said, or you leave Falcon now, as I said, or yes, stopover, your president, obey your trotro business in these hectic times. That collapses flat. Second attempted justification. So, and they say, oh, president, these days, the entourage as so or per se, or two coin large with bigger numbers. Your Falcon, and to mean Nipa Bebresa. Now, let's look at the facts, Minia. OSHA, the ACJ 320 Neo president, or usually in May, it's a 17-seater at night, 19-seater at day. OSHA, the LXDIO, president, or usually in June, July, what's usually to the United States of America. And on a party in New York, Kansas City, a Befano, a dinner back. That aircraft, the LXDIO, Minia, a 19-seater. 19-seater. And the question you asked, they say, who they took your presidential jet now, which is a 17-seater, including crew, 17 and a 17 with the ACJ 320, and now 17 and 19 with the LXDIO. What is the difference? And yes, sir, President Kochata ABI 45-seater and 60-seater aircraft. And again, that argument said President the entourage is so, and the entourage is very big. It collapses, it falls flat. Now, the other argument that has also been made, and it said, oh, young Jane President is safety. Na your falcon no crown there, say crowd in dodo. Na we should be thinking about getting a new aircraft. Minia, okay, the 18th March 2008 Hansard of Parliament now. The then Defense Minister and Yanni Anoma Moa MPP who were in charge at the time, including the technical team of the Ghana Air Force, when they said the communication squadron is in charge of this presidential fleet, aircraft fleet. Omokache Parliament said the minimum lifespan, a year, 20 years of this Falcon, 20 years. Falcon way they drew Ghana 2010 when it was ordered in 2008. It took 2 years for the manufacturers to produce it. They drew 2010. It's done barely 11 years. It is nowhere near the minimum lifespan of 20 years. And the reputation of the Ghana Armed Forces, almost magnificent and phenomenal maintenance culture. This is the same Air Force almost to me and maintaining the Fokker 28 for well over 40 years. I mean, the maintenance almost pedigree is unparalleled. It's one of the best in the world. It will also interest you to know, meaning yourself, may me monitoring, may me tracking. Namibia for almost so your Falcon Nibi. Theirs is an older version. Omoto Omodie 1991.
Hey!
That is 19 years and sana yen to your Falcon. And the Omo Falcon no is 30 years old. Now to Minia, will you believe, sir, Omo President Gengop no? Nam 001, which is a Namibian aircraft, where the all apologies to Nam 1. He knows nothing about it. It's Nam 001. A Falcon 700B. Sa Falcon, and no one President Gengop, the Namibian president, or use they call New York. It didn't affect him in any way. I mean, it did not deny him from also addressing the United Nations General Assembly. He did one stopover for refueling. 30 years aircraft too. He is using it. Into this business say, oh, young President safety. Are we then suggesting say President we are no or no on Jane safety? President we are why use the aircraft way at least twice in 1 week, last week, no? Are we saying say President we are doesn't care about his safety and other Liberians wish their president dead? Look, all of those justifications no don't hold water. It is clear, very, very, very obvious. Minister Nitiwu was right. It's just about luxury. Because Nitiwu said, your presidential jet, president on to me and shower room. So it's all about extreme luxury. Because these chartered aircraft, on the feature.
You say.
Yeah.
President, maybe the position, the office comes with certain luxury. Say ye can we, or at least it's a baby or number from no jaria. Say a come on, baby, I bet trotro near my very relaxed movie near the area. At least it's not bad.
Minia, your presidential jet, I can was President John Ajekum Kufo Nona or order yeno. At the time our order na Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, honorable at the time, was foreign minister. He raised no objection, supported the purchase in cabinet. Oba Parliament at the time as MP or supportee voted for this, didn't raise any issue with it. Minim say what tina Falcon Nimuda, your presidential jet no.
Oh, Debbie.
And you very me not once, not twice, as part of presidential delegations. President Mills Abreso, President Mahama Abreso. And I can tell you, sir, it's a very comfortable aircraft, a luxurious aircraft. President, the beer ordin in number two, obe reclining, beer obe chro, the nema, reading in notes and all of that. The beer then near the aneamano and all of that. Nina ewu. Ye ka presidential jet cost $37,150,000 in 2008, Ominia. 2008, about 13 years ago, it cost $37.15 million. That isn't in today's terms. $37.15 million. It will buy you something very good. I can tell you, sir, your presidential jet is very, very comfortable. The Liberian president, he really is fancying it, and he's enjoying it. Older versions, Krano, the Namibian president, Egusua, all use it, the older version of this Falcon. This argument says, oh, president should be comfortable. China, you talk presidential jet, man. Presidential jet, you want no, meaning, and your economy, and your business, and your first class. First class cruising in Emirates will not come near the presidential jet, you want. It's just this business of luxury shower and cinema room, 5-star dining, and a master bedroom. These vanities, no. The question is, President Akufo-Addo promised Ghanaians Obe protected the public purse. This is not protection of the public purse. Because who a presidential jet? Anka BBSC, maybe a presidential jet not say, and now say, they are cost servicing. Then we can even be discussing alternatives. And no crown. Look at the history of all the presidents we have had. President Kufuor, Obeye President Okase, Gulfstream GII, President Rawlings toy, The circumstances were not transparent. Into Onodia, Enya dia, Obey use it. He won't use the Gulfstream GII. When himself President Kufuor, one charter aircraft there, not once. He flew commercial, business, British Airways, KLM, Swiss Air, Emirates. He flew commercial. And President who took quite first class and nobody will raise issue. At the time, no,
Emirates first.
The only issue that was raised at the time, and he said, now the frequency was too high. That was the issue that Ghanaians raised. The opposition at the time, civil society organization, said trips he could let the ministers go and allow our ambassadors in those jurisdictions to handle the matters. Now he shouldn't be traveling to Mayubakaya. He even missed the first Independence Day celebration as president because he had traveled, and it raised some brouhaha, Ubekaya. But nobody accused President Kufuor. He has gone for the most expensive option, which is chartered aircraft. President Mills Obaye, the whole of 2009, not presidential jet, Mbaye. President Mills flew commercial. I've accompanied him on some of these trips as Deputy Minister of Information at the time. British Airways, KLM, just like everybody. This is the only time in our history since we received our first presidential jet in 1962, the DH-125 under President Nkrumah. This is the only time presidents had decided say your presidential jet, Nansu media, may use it, and I'll go for a chartered aircraft or charter krana on from $2,000 an hour now $5,000 an hour. It goes for the most expensive or for a company now by moment the most luxurious, the most expensive, $14,000 an hour. Who share this US trip and tracking now, every trip, the rate is going up. First one made 2.8 million cities. The other one, Germany, UK, 3.6 million. So say, time now, you are calculating 42 hours now or using and we haven't even added parking time and the the flight licenses and all of that. Conservative estimate now, this will cost 3.7 million. It's a boom over 10 million Ghana cedis. Adding.
Hey,
no president has ever conducted himself this way.
We no say anamo be na mo betu.
Good question. Yeah, discussing extensively your caucus. Now, it kind of the first one, no, yanka area. First aspect of the question had to do with the state of the presidential jet. Defense Minister Beyano, and we all know the presidential jet, Bibia and is in good shape, as the Defense Minister confirmed. Now, the second aspect of the question, which has to do with the full cost, full disclosure of the financials, and known Finance Minister Obekaya, he kept asking for more time. After 7 weeks, when we threatened him with a vote of censure, say, we are collecting signatures. Then he stopped the game. By Parliament, because on new information, Nayanko, the the National Security Minister. Now, I then filed another question. The Right Honourable Speaker approved it. It is our question is before the National Security Minister. But just a few days after that approval, in the Parliament, a call recess. And when we return next month, he is expected to respond to that first aspect. But the President has repeated it twice. The UK-Germany trip and this US trip. And we are filing other questions in that regard. And we are also going to take steps to ensure, sir, this clear obstinacy, the clear refusal to be sensitive to our economic conditions and to the plight of the suffering masses, we will take steps to stop it, because we want to sponsor what will eventually lead to a policy on presidential travels in Ghana, as you have in other jurisdictions. Shesina, the international community is applauding the new Zambian president. Say, he has acted not like many African leaders who the world has seen. He flew commercial with a 3-member lean delegation. And really, when you think about it, your embassies in the United States of America, Washington, and New York, you have all these ambassadors, including a permanent rep to the United Nations. You have all these foreign service staff. Do you need all these hangers on? Now you have NIPA 60, NIPA 70, advanced team in sometimes 40, and some President and Kasa Bechata aircraft with all manner of persons. Do we need all of this? Ubeko meeting, they'll tell you 1 + 2 and 1 + 3. Meaning, say, those who are to enter the meetings, who are to participate in the meetings, to enter the UN Assembly chamber, the president and 2 others, maximum president and 3 others. Into all these other hangers on, what do they go and do? Internet, there's a lot of international media reportage about how these African delegations just go loitering and shopping and all of that. It doesn't do the image of the continent any good. And the Zambian leader is receiving all these accolades. The Namibian leader is being praised, for their good maintenance culture, their modesty, showing the world, and in particular our president, how the public purse is protected. And to me, this matter, we are not going to leave it. And if the president thinks that probably changing the aircraft and trying to switch off transponders and all of that, diverting attention and trying to, as it were, conceal the fact and being tight-lipped will get us off for him to continue. Just as he, as member of parliament, ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Ubekaya, Tamana, Omowo opposition, in 1998, he took on President Rawlings for the purchase of the Gulfstream GII. We are inspired by Onoane track record to make sure, on these matters of presidential travels, the nature of aircraft and all of that. No, there is transparency, there's accountability, there's prudence. Into all of this.
Hey, Mammy Radie.
It's about the national interest.
Me bajo me bo. Say ekoba say ye be me procure new aircraft. Sika me fan say bia ye say no me nka say ye say no ye hwere no. Ema ye de bo ye present travel so bra no. De wo bobo yi 10 million Ghana cedis ni de o kika bo ma ebetimi atobi. Ana say they are just peanuts.
The way I hear Kono, honestly, Usha President Akufo-Addo on a track record. Kai said 2019, just for 9 months, January to September, he spent 67 million Ghana cedis on foreign travels. The Abuaye COVID and the airports were closed globally. And the Wanyakwan into Kwan with his chartered aircraft. And on Abuaye.
670 million Ghana cedis for presidential travels.
Yes, just between January and September. 67 million new Ghana cedis.
67 million new Ghana cedis.
New Ghana cedis. It's a billion square. This is made to me count up pay. No, I'm not doing the conversion, But new Ghana cedis 67 just for 9 months. They're a hot year boy kakra a COVID but you can tell that the president is beginning to warm up, and this is just warming up. Why 10 million? If you add this 10 million to 67 million in 2019 and 2018, 2017, it could have bought a new aircraft because Kaiser Falcon now you're using it cost $37 million.
And get better with your new aircraft.
Oh yes. Osha president presidential travels. Luxury travels Hawaii from 2017. Who the Nina Bomoa ever to me at the new aircraft. And it should tell you the level of wastage, the level of dissipation air cost, how the taxpayers' money is being squandered. It brings it into proper context.
I see. Now, Don Pino from Malam Semenkin can win from Ossi. Kwame Nkrumah. Isn't Okudzeto being mischievous and oversimplifying this aircraft issue? Was it not the same aircraft which nearly killed our president in the US after takeoff somewhere in 2018? Can we do a comparative analysis of how much the president makes for the nation on his foreign trips as compared to how much he spends on renting one? Let's not politicize everything. Greetings. My greetings to Honorable Okudzeto Ablakwa. Tell him I admire him despite his mischief.
Mr. Don Pino, let me assure Don Pino, say, I am not being mischievous at all. I'm not being mischievous. You even forget about who is raising it. Forget about the fact that the NDC. Just pay attention to the facts. Just the facts. Say, Anka Ghana, your company, and you are managing the resources of your company. Will you spend this amount of money on just presidential travels? I saw the last time Warren Buffett or Kase or no, even as one of the world's richest people. No, he doesn't own a private jet and doesn't think that is necessary. It's all about egos. But you see, just look at the facts. Say your presidential jet. Presidential jet is in good condition. Yes, Don Pino is right, sir. There was an issue when the president in 2017 was leaving New York. Mikaiso said President Mills and President Mahama have had issues as well. It happens with machines. Now, according to aviation experts, your aircraft, your Falcon, there were 4 engines. And these 4 engines is made to maximize security and safety. The irony is aircraft now, Yakwako Chatano, this LXDIO, there were 2 engines. And if something happens to one, God save our president. Your Falcon, there were 4 engines. Now, aviation experts are saying, if an aircraft is airworthy, it is airworthy. Aircraft, and yes, airworthy and yes, safer. Even using it for a 50-minute journey is dangerous. And if the Falcon is not safe, then the president should stop using it totally. He should stop using it to Kumasi, stop using it to Guinea, stop using it to Zambia. Because some of these trips, the local, like Odeko, Uganda, say, who calculated distance now, it's just like going to Europe. 6 hours. Again, you see, President Ankasane conduct, is defeating this whole argument. Say, oh, flight is not yet safe. It's just clear. So, yeah, an objective analyst said, President Obetu went to Europe and America. He likes to arrive in grand style. It becomes some chilling competition, which should make Arabian kings jealous. But that's all this is about. It's not a matter to do with safety. If the aircraft is not safer, then what you do is you decommission it. You stop using it totally. But you can't have a situation where you use it in some instances. The other presidents are using it. And yet you come and tell Ghanaians, say, aircraft, and you're safe. Now, this business of, young calculating the benefits of these trips, and we shouldn't always be looking at the cost. Meaning, nobody has been able to convince Ghanaians. Say, benefits nina abano, anka president, or the Falcon no etu kwanya, anka we won't get the same benefits. In fact, now Okonya was Germany, and you even forget about the fact that before he traveled, Germany had already promised Africa. They had pledged Africans there. They have over 700 million vaccines to give away, about 70 million vaccines to give away to the African continent. So whether the president traveled or not, we will have got these vaccines. UN General Assembly, if the president had even flown commercial, if the president had gone with the Falcon, benefits and opportunity to address the UN General Assembly is my good friend saying that Don Pino saying that he would not have been allowed to do that. Nothing will have changed. It's about prudence. It's about frugality. It's about your priority. It's about sensitivity, showing that you really care about the public purse. If you can get more for less, why not all of us rally behind that? When we have spent $37 million to buy a presidential jet, all these post-facto rationalization of Minia, it doesn't wash. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't convince anybody. It doesn't convince anybody. That is why when you observe government closely, Minia Kwame Nkrumah, one kasa ubejia tuma about this matter of the presidential jet. She said government communication so weak. They go into hiding. Because
it's something that is shrouded in a.
No, they are embarrassed. They are embarrassed.
Sir.
Adam Fufu, we have good friends on the other side. They are embarrassed about it. Government communication machinery is embarrassed. They were hoping, sir, this matter will not be exposed. Like we won't get to know about it. That's what they were hoping. Shesena in Parliament, it took them so long. Finance Minister, more time. After 7 weeks, and Son of Becca said, okay, you go to National Security Minister. I mean, what is secrecy about? Every country, we know how their presidents travel. Those who are even traveling commercial, we know. The cost per hour, we know. If we can know for other countries, why can't we know for our own country? And there's no national. In any case, Usha Ghana history, matters to do with jets and a presidential travel have always been matter for public discourse. And our friends on the other side have openly engaged in it and discussed it. Usha Yabakosem, 1962, your first presidential jet airborne. UP4, LRZ even questions whether it was priority, whether it was needed at the time. At Champon, all Koto the Foka 28 in 1976, there were major issues. Some have even said it was one of the reasons why the coup eventually happened. It was raised, the cost, and now is it prudent? Gulfstream GII, President Rawlings, it was a major issue in this country. Since when? And all those people who today I say, oh, national security, they were active talking about it. And all the details, putting it out, calling for even greater transparency. Because they even say purchasing the Gulfstream GII was not very transparent. Omuka say Omu use it. President Akufo came to power 2001 and did not use it for 5 good years. Refused to use it. I mean, then MP for Akim Ebuakwa South, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo, was at the forefront, leading the charge. J.H. Mensa Munyana, the Honorable Kandapa, who today wants to hide under national security. At the time, no, there were no national security issues. President Akufo also told the 2 presidential jets to cost us about $105 million. It was a matter for major national debate. Professor Mills, Ubekaya, he said, sir, he didn't think it was right to buy 2. Into your bar, or back cancel Bako. You cancel one of the contracts. And in fulfillment of that promise, he did it. Into the debate on presidential jets and presidential travels. We all discussed President Kufuor's travel, that he was traveling too much. The Bena every year some national security mate beer, and so beer. Nobody should raise it. Nobody should talk about it. Look, it is just clear, sir. They themselves know. Said the president, and it's not good, even for the image of the president. Obi Awakase will be protecting the public purse. He has gone too far. They know when they meet in confidence behind the scenes, they talk about it. They know that. That really is the issue. It's not about national security. They should just advise the president to stop it. Onjai their oil. Onjai. Because look, if he probably has something against the Falcon, on person of using Falcon, I have even suggested in an earlier write-up, then we can put it up for auction, Yantong, and all of these millions of Ghana cedis is squandering on these luxury travels. No, we can then do a top up and then buy a aircraft with a shower.
Now, maybe Ube proposes say the air causeway, and yet we can procure a new aircraft now.
I mean, I'm telling you, sir, we should combine all from 2017. The amount of money used on this chartered aircraft, it can buy a new aircraft. It can afford it. What is going on is just financially prudent. It's just total dissipation of taxpayer resources. And the irony is this is a president who launched a campaign last week at the bar conference, was it 2 weeks ago, said professionals are not paying their taxes. They should pay taxes. Who will be motivated to pay taxes? Seeing this evidence, seeing what taxes are being used for.
Okay. Honorable, Madam pay.
Yo, Mr. Medas.
Yes, I say, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, MP for Northtown, Minority Spokesperson on Foreign Affairs, the NHM Compacho.
OKFM 101.7.